Iranian media has been questioning the whereabouts of Netanyahu ever since the Iran Revolutionary Guard Corps claimed that the Israeli Prime Minister may have been killed or wounded in a missile strike on March 2, Israeli newspaper The Jerusalem Post reported. The IRGC-linked Tasnim News Agency published a report on Monday, triggering speculation that Netanyahu may have been killed or wounded, reiterating the claims made ever since the war broke out. The Tasnim News Agency assembled a series of circumstantial points, including the recent video clips of Netanyahu's absence, reports in Hebrew-language media about tightened security around his home, and the postponement of a reported visit by Trump's special envoy Steve Witkoff and son-in-law Jared Kushner. According to the Jerusalem Post report, Tasnim's report also focused on a claim attributed to former U.S. intelligence officer Scott Ritter, who alleged that Iran had bombed Netanyahu's hideout and that his brother had been killed. Tasnim's report had noted that the claim had not been officially confirmed or denied. According to the public information, Netanyahu delivered an official statement published by his office on March 7th, a day after he was spotted visiting an Iranian missile impact site in Beersheba.
And to the Iranian people, I say this. I have been speaking to you, and for your sake, for many, many decades now. The moment of truth is drawing near. We do not seek to divide Iran. We are seeking to liberate Iran, to free her from the yoke of tyranny, and to live with her in peace. But at the end of the day, your liberation from the yoke of tyranny, this freedom rests with you, the brave and long-suffering people of Iran. I believe that if you stand firm in the moment of truth, the day is not far off when Israel and Iran will be true friends.
Independent reports referred to Netanyahu's public interaction, including a phone call with French President Emmanuel Macron that was reported by the Élysée Palace. This is not the first time Iranian claims about Netanyahu's whereabouts have surfaced. Earlier, the Iranian media's claims that Netanyahu's fate was unclear after purported strike were dismissed by Tel Aviv as fake news. Iran continued its aerial attack on Israel, having launched fresh ballistic missiles in the northern part of the country early Tuesday.
Iran launched a fresh ballistic missile attack on Israel early Tuesday, triggering air raid sirens across parts of northern Israel. A limited number of missiles were fired, prompting residents to seek shelter as warning systems were activated across several northern communities. According to Israeli medics, there were no immediate reports of direct impacts or injuries from the latest barrage. Around the same time, sirens also sounded in the Kiryat Shmona area near Israel's northern border, following rocket fire from Lebanon, according to Israeli authorities. Before northern Israel, Iran had fired missiles towards central Israel and occupied West Bank settlements. There were no reports of direct impacts or injuries in the missile attack. Sirens sounded across central Israel and parts of the West Bank. In response, the Israeli Defense Forces, or IDF, announced that the Israeli Air Force had launched a new wave of extensive airstrikes in Tehran. The military said the strikes targeted sites linked to the Iranian regime. The IDF described the operation as the second round of Israeli strikes carried out in Tehran earlier in the day. The Israeli military claimed around 2,000 Iranian military personnel, including top commanders, have been killed so far.
We are now in the 10th day of Operation Lion's Roar. The Air Force has continued throughout the day to strike targets of the Iranian regime in Tehran, Isfahan, and southern Iran. In the last 10 days, we have struck and undermined the Iranian terror regime. Since the start of the operation, the IDF has eliminated over 1,900 regime soldiers and commanders and wounded thousands more. We have many more targets. This is a continuous effort. We are intensifying the severe damage across all levels and systems of the regime. In a significant attack by Air Force planes, we destroyed the Quds Forces transportation network. During the attack, we targeted and destroyed 16 transport aircraft operating on behalf of the Revolutionary Guard. These planes were part of a transfer route for weapons and money to the regime's proxies throughout the Middle East. Since the start of the operation, we've attacked 6 military airfields across Iran. We continue to strike the strategic capabilities of the regime and its terror axis. Meanwhile, the Air Force is continuing to hunt down in real time the cells of the Iranian missile launchers. In Lebanon, we are continuing with a forward defense for the residents and settlements of the north. Northern Command is spearheading a significant offensive effort against Hezbollah, operating around the clock. So far, we have attacked over 700 Hezbollah targets, including more than 100 targets belonging to the Radwan force, which is Hezbollah's primary terrorist unit. We have struck over 50 targets in Beirut, including 35 multi-story buildings that served as terror infrastructure for the organization, deep within the civilian population.
A powerful new wave of Iranian missile strikes has shaken Israel, leaving multiple people wounded and raising serious questions about the country's missile defense shield. According to Israeli emergency services, at least 6 people were injured after a ballistic missile attack struck central Israel, an attack that officials believe may have carried a cluster warhead designed to scatter explosive fragments across a wide area. The strikes came during one of the most intense days of missile exchanges since the conflict began. Air raid sirens echoed across major cities, forcing millions of Israelis to run for shelters as Iranian missiles streaked through the sky. Cluster warhead suspected. Israel's National Emergency Service, Magen David Adom, confirmed that several people were wounded when fragments from the strike landed in populated areas. In Tel Aviv, a man in his 40s suffered serious injuries after being hit by shrapnel during the explosion. Another impact site in Petah Tikva left 5 additional people wounded. Among them was a 25-year-old man listed in moderate condition, while several others were treated for lighter injuries. Police reported more than a dozen impact points across central Israel. The wide spread of explosions strongly suggests the missile may have been carrying a cluster bomb warhead, a weapon designed to disperse multiple small explosives over a large area. Cluster munitions can turn a single missile strike into dozens of dangerous blast zones, increasing the chances of casualties and infrastructure damage. The Israeli military, the Israel Defense Forces, said search and rescue units were immediately dispatched to the affected areas. Military officials are now investigating how the missile managed to penetrate Israeli air defenses. For years, Israel's layered defense network, including systems such as Iron Dome and David Sling, has been considered among the most advanced in the world, but the latest wave of attacks suggests that the scale and complexity of Iranian missile barrages may be putting those defenses under severe strain. Photos and videos circulating from the impact zones show damaged streets, shattered windows, and debris scattered across urban areas. Emergency responders rushed through smoke-filled neighborhoods searching for survivors and assessing the damage. 8 missile barrages in one day. Sunday's attack was not a single strike. According to Israeli authorities, Iran launched 8 separate missile volleys throughout the day. The first wave began around 2 a.m. local time. Sirens blared across northern, central, and southern Israel, forcing residents out of their beds and into underground shelters. Several additional salvos followed over the next several hours.